The Samsung S95B has an extreme posterization issue. I'm going to show you how it happens and what modes are not affected by it. So I have the default settings for HDR. I wanted to show this off so that you guys can see, again, stock image, nothing done to it, because people love to say that, like, oh my god, he does so much to these images sometimes to cop out. It's weird. Either way, we're going to show you first. We're going to start with the auto, okay? You go from auto, you go to normal, you go to native. Those work, but when you go to custom, something weird happens. The image gets broken, and as you can see, extreme posterization. This is the Samsung S95B 55-inch, and this is the biggest flaw of the Samsung S95B that I have run into. So I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of putting each television preset in its respective custom picture or custom color space mode, so that as we go through the different presets, you can see which modes are and are not affected, rather than me sitting here dragging out the video. So the first one is dynamic. You have to select it for the color space and all the settings to become active. So you select it and bam, dynamic has no problem. A very odd choice that this is one of the unaffected modes, but it is what it is. Then we go to standard. Standard is affected by it. Very disgusting considering that's a bread and butter mode. Movie mode is affected. And that's just, again, very unacceptable because another bread and butter mode. Now we go to Cal Night. Cal Night affected. So if you're doing calibrations, like I was saying earlier, you're still not going to be able to get that accuracy because, well, four of your main modes are going to experience this extreme posterization. So you have Cal Day, Cal Night, Movie, and Standard mode, all of which are acting up. Oddly enough, when we go to Filmmaker mode, it's unaffected. So Filmmaker mode and essentially Dynamic mode are the only two modes where you can escape that disgusting posterization. Now, once you select a mode that doesn't have it affected and you start hovering over other settings, it's going to act completely normal and completely fine, which is really strange until you select it. So this is how I know it's software based. As you can clearly see, we have Filmmaker mode selected, and its characteristic is that it doesn't have any posterization activated on it. And as we go through all the picture preset options, no posterization will be activated on it. And the same can be said about dynamic. We go all the way down and no posterization will activate. Now, we're going to go to standard, which does have posterization, and then we're going to hover over dynamic. It too now will have posterization when hovering over it. So will movie and every other picture preset. This, again, further establishes that this is a software issue and it needs to be resolved. So now that we understand the nature of it and we understand how it works, let's talk a little bit more about why this is a problem and how it can be affecting for picture quality. Having a flaw like this on a movie mode or a calibration mode is affecting because if you pay a professional to come out to your home and you're out $400 and you don't know a flaw like this exists, you just paid a professional travel fees and you paid them to try to calibrate your TV just to tell you, hey bud, it's not my fault that your TV has a software glitch. I'll have to do this instead or something else instead, right? We're going to have to skip that portion of the calibration or something. But you're still paying hundreds of dollars for this service. So the big deal here is that for people who are investing in advanced calibration services, the Samsung S95B is not going to be ideal. Hopefully by showing this off, you can understand that this massive posterization issue is huge and it does need to be fixed. We should not be dealing with images that look like this on any scale or on any level for this kind of price, and that's honest. So if you're serious about calibration or you're serious about getting reference accuracy, I cannot recommend the Samsung S95B for those reasons and for those people. However, for everybody else, it is still a great TV. You just have to be aware that you are going to have to make the compromise of not doing a reference accurate calibration in most modes. Filmmaker mode and dynamic mode are the exception.